This is the Iron Man, Rob Conway, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, we are back. Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, Jackie Jones. Off my right-hand man.
1 inch biceps, a power goat. Bah! How about that, Jack? Huh?
That was very impressive. I'm very impressed by the bottle this evening.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. And joining us right off the bat here on In Your Head, someone I've been wanting to have on the show for a long time, and that is Rene Dupree.
Bonjour, comment vas-tu?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't do that French gimmick anymore.
Yeah. I took 2 years of French in high school.
Was that?
I took 2 years of French in high school.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
I remember parlez-vous français.
Oh, no.
I think I can also count to 10.
Really?
I believe laver le chien means wash my cat.
No, it was dog.
Dog! That's right, dog.
Yeah. Wash your wiener. Okay, ask me some questions, dude.
Yeah, you know what? On WWE.com recently came out that you're the youngest superstar ever to hold any title in the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation. Are you proud of that fact?
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's only one guy that can hold that, you know, when you have something cool like that, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, at the time when it happened, I didn't even realize it, you know? Like, I know I was the, you know, youngest champion, like, later on. Like, when it actually happened, I had no idea. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
But, when they mentioned, like, teenager, that was kind of cool, too.
Yeah.
Like, no one teenager ever.
Nope. You know, being that young, maybe you didn't, like you said, you don't realize at the time, but looking back, do you think it was good to go to the WWE that young, or do you think back,
I thought about this a lot, right? And if you look at, like, all the childhood stars, like, you know, like Lindsay Lohan and Macaulay Culkin, and, you know, I mean, look at Justin Bieber now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, being WWE superstar or whatever, dude, that's just like being a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes even bigger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, if you think about it, you know, you're performing in front of 10,000, 20,000 sold-out arenas, you know, 4 or 5 million people watch you live on TV, you know, and you're making good money. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like similar lives. So like Bieber freaking out and stuff, like I can like totally understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, last week we had Mickey Grant on from World Class Championship Wrestling, and that kind of came up was, even though it made for exciting television for World Class, because all the guys were very young, and they didn't really push, you know, in wrestling at that time, all young guys on the whole roster, but a lot of them, you know, turned out bad for a lot of them because they were also young, and they had a lot of money in the girls and stuff at a young age. So,
yeah.
Do you think
it's difficult, man.
Mm-hmm. But you had wrestled since you were like 14, I believe?
Yeah, I broke in wrestling, 14. 13, like, traveling with I call it the circus. You know what I mean? Traveling around with my dad's circuit and selling merchandise. And, like, that was, like, part of my training, like, going into the business was, like, a lot of, like, times when you learn, man, it's like riding in the cars, you know, with the veterans. And they teach you just by telling stories and stuff like that, you know.
Who were some of the, you know, when you were, like, that young, who were some of the guys you did travel with and would, you know, listen to?
Bad News Allen or Bad News Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I can sometimes remember him. Hustler Rip Rogers. My father, of course. And then later on, The Beast. If you read Stan Hansen's book, like in the first like chapter, he talks about a guy named The Beast who my father trained and broke into business. And he like puts him in high regard as a hell of a worker, you know. And he was like my sensei a lot, you know. I had several different trainers, you know, because we would all ride the Cuban Assassin, Angel Acevedo. He was big in stampede and huge over here for my dad. My dad ran full time.
It's different from the one that wrestled in the States.
Well, actually, yeah, that's, I believe, I forget his real name, Sierra, right?
Yeah, David Sierra.
Yeah.
On the show.
He actually told me the story that he actually got the name. He asked Cuban permission to use his name, Cuban Assassin, in the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. When you're riding with Rip Rogers, and we had him on the show, and I've always enjoyed stories.
And he talks for like 4 hours.
Yes.
hope you don't plan on. I can't do that, dude.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna try to break the record?
No, I got to fly out. I got a 5:30 a.m. flight to Tokyo tomorrow. So.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he talked for forever on the show, and I've always heard stories, other wrestlers talking about him, and seems like quite a character. You know, any stories come to mind when you were traveling with him?
No, because my dad was there and he was behaving. He was actually he was actually the booker. So no, he was he was you know, he's like bipolar, kind of like me. I think that's why we get along. We're so much alike. You know, he's an exercise freak, and he loves the business. And I didn't see any of his like crazy behavior, but I heard stories, and they're all true. Yeah. One thing I can say about him is that he had this pair of, like, he would walk around in his gimmick tights around town, like all the time, 24/7. And I don't think he ever changed them, and he was here for like 4 months straight. Yeah, I think he would like wash them in the sink and then put them right back on. He'd go to the gym, like in those pink, you know, the pink tights he'd wear.
Yeah.
Well, he had like pink shorts, like tight shorts, and he walked around like all the time, like town. But you know what? It's self-promotion, because you see that guy and people ask questions and they might ask you, what, you know, who are you? Well, I'm a wrestler. Come to the show tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's an old carny, but he's smart.
I think all that stuff, if you can stick out in any way and get people to notice you and remember you, I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, you know. But, yeah, he was a very good trainer, probably one of the best out there, you know.
Yeah.
And, yeah, my dad trusted him as a booker. You know, that's why in 97 he came here like 3 years. I forget exact the date, so when I met him, you know, it was 97, I was like 13.
Yeah. And when you say he was, you know, a good trainer, was that just in the ring, or would he also teach you, you know, psychology of the business and other things?
Well, yeah, he was a trainer in OVW when I was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think anybody with half a brain who knows anything about wrestling would know that, you know, he is crazy, you know, maybe not politically correct at times, and maybe not exactly the corporate type, but you can learn a lot from him.
Yeah. I know you were also in Florida Championship, the Florida wrestling, just for a little bit, because you were already in, you know, a superstar.
I got out of the mental institution, rehab, and then I went there for like a week, and then then I asked for my release.
Yeah, I guess you were only there for a while, and it was a different circumstance. You weren't a guy just coming in, but could you see a difference between OVW and how they run FCW?
No, Steve Kern was there, and I love Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Kern was there, and like he would like, I never went, but he would like gather all the guys around. Like, hey, we're all going to go to the beach today and have a barbecue and hang out, and you know, it was kind of cool. But I never partake in any of that stuff. But like when I was there, it was in a warehouse. Like there was 2 rings in this old warehouse where they were stacking like young canned vegetables and shit. They hadn't built the huge facility they have now, or even the one in Tampa, that wasn't there yet. So, yeah.
You know, being a wrestler for since a young kid and growing up really up in the business, and then you go to OVW, what was that experience like? Because I would assume a lot of the guys, well, I guess some of the guys had come from you know, independent wrestling, but some of the guys, I guess, would be almost untrained. How was that, you know, to be in a wrestling school after art?
Well, you had the OVW guys that were, you know, Danny Davis' students. You know,
yeah.
Coming to Bash from Dinsmore. And Dinsmore was like one of the trainers or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had like the Tough Enough guys come in or whatever. Well, it was the girls back then. And then, that's when I was, yeah, Matt Morgan, he was there. And, yeah, I mean, I knew that, like watching back, I maybe thought I was better than I really was. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as like towards the end, like I watched my stuff and it's like, wow, I wasn't as big and all bulky, and I always thought I had to be like that, you know. Mm-hmm. But I looked good, just lean and natural, and I worked a lot better. So I like watching myself, you know, towards the end, like the ECW stuff, you know.
Yeah. I
started watching that stuff back then, and I was like, yeah, fuck, I moved a lot better back then. And now, too, like in Japan, I feel like my work is really grown since I left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that's, I know you're a younger guy and stuff, but it used to be guys would go to WWE after they had really felt like they were ready for the WWE, and now things are different, obviously. There's not a lot of places to work, to train, or to become, great wrestler, then go to WWE. But do you think that is hard for guys to go right from wrestling school to WWE?
Dude, if you look at the track record, everybody there who fucking draws the money, you know what I mean, started on the independents in some sort of fashion. And independents basically is like this generation's version of the territories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really think about it. Even Cena, man, he joined the regular wrestling, I forget exactly what UPW was it?
Yeah, it was in
California, and he was doing those shit shows in front of no people for Rick Basson, right?
Yeah.
And but I mean, look at the guy. As soon as Vince McMahon or whoever, one of his guys saw him, like, this guy's getting signed. Like Cena's the type of guy that even if he wasn't signed right away, he would have worked and traveled and done everything until he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned that, and a lot of the guys really taking off right now, like Daniel Bryan and Cesaro and the Shield guys, or two Shield guys. They were independent guys. Any of those guys you watch and like, because I think right now actually some of the best wrestling in WWE for years, because some of those guys are great. Any of those guys you watch, you're like, I'd really like to work with them? Or?
Oh, fuck, all of them, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, all of them. I think I worked with a few of them already. Like, I had a tag match with, I call him Dragon, American Brad Danielson, in England. And I know the promoter was like, yeah, we'll put you guys in a singles match down the road. Oh, like, I know I was telling all those guys. And draw money with them, more importantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing to go there and have a great match, but it's another thing to fucking draw money. And that's like, I don't know. Everybody sets goals for themselves. Like, I want to be the champion. Well, I want to be the champion, but I want to draw money. I want to be the reason why the fucking place is sold out. You know what I mean? That's the passion, and that's the drive that you should have in order to be successful. So, yeah.
Is the door still open, do you think, like, that you could go back to WWE?
I don't know. I guess there's a never say never, right? I was stupid in the past and did one interview that was really stupid. And, whatever, I do this for a living, and I have since I was 13, This is what I do. I love it. It's a 24/7 job. Even when I'm not wrestling, I'm either watching wrestling or studying wrestling in different angles, different angles back in the day that drew money. If you could redo it in a different way. Like, I'm 24/7 wrestling, and I love it. And I'm still blessed to be able to go, full-time in Japan and do what I do, what I love.
Yeah. What is I know some guys, but I've actually heard another interview with you where you said you actually like the food in Japan, you like the culture, and I believe you're married to a woman. So
yeah, 5 years now.
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, but how about the wrestling itself? Do you enjoy that style of wrestling?
Well, it's the company now, Wrestle One. Like, every company's different, right? At least they try to be, because if it's all the same, then I fucking enjoy anything. But they're more, now they're going to shorter matches, still with the traditional Japanese, but they're trying to do different, like they brought in midgets and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's totally different for Japan. But it's great, it's getting over. They dress him up like a panda, he's great. Yeah, the company I work for now is awesome. And people in the States, I think they have high pay-per-views and stuff, just make the investment and check it out. I don't want to be like a promoter here, but really check it out because it's really cool. And they're doing stuff with the TNA. We did a pay-per-view in March, I believe. And it was a lot of fun. I got to work with some of those guys. It was a lot of fun.
Would you ever consider working for TNA?
You never say never, but I'm very comfortable in Japan.
Yeah.
It's stable, and I love the locker room. I love everything about it. So, but when you're an independent wrestler or a professional wrestler, you are a businessman. You got to do right for, your family. I have a family now, so they come number one, man.
Well, what do your tattoos mean?
Which one?
The Japanese symbols you have on your on your.
I got Japan written on my chest, on my pec and shoulder, and then I just got a new one, like a Canadian flag in between. And then I got flames on my calves. I actually got that from Gangrel. We were in England together, and his are like all in black. And I was thinking, I already knew the answer, but I was like, why do you got those? The flames, what do they represent? I was like, well, I had a pretty fucked up life, So I said, well, I can relate to that, mine too. So got those in both, but I got them on my forearms as well. I got a cross on my back. And you know what? The funny thing is, like, I got all like the outlines made like in 6 weeks. I have like addictive personality to anything I do, right?
Yeah.
So, tattoos, man, like I got one and they're so addicting. I just I'll be crazy. Yeah.
You talked about that, an addictive personality, and it's no secret you've had, problems with different things. Now, how have you been, coping with that in recent years?
It's great, man. I got married. At first, it was hard. Drank a lot, I first got married. Well, I was living in Japan, and my wife worked nights, and I was alone. And, not really an excuse, but I went through it, and I believe what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I've been, like I said, I got flames on my calves because I've been through a shit ton. I'd like to write a book someday about it. I don't want to divulge all my stories on internet radio. But yeah, but I know like a platform like WWE can provide that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. And is it possible? Well, obviously, it's possible because you're doing better now. But is it hard to be to be clean living in the wrestling business?
People, places, and things. That's the first thing they teach you, like in rehabilitation program. So if you're around people, places, or things that trigger you wanting to use your DOC, I call it, like drug of choice or alcohol, or you got to change that environment. And at the time, where I was at, like living in Houston, Texas, and the people I was around on the road and off the road still were around that, that certain, lifestyle. So I knew I was smart for, okay, I got to change this for a little while till I get myself better. So I need to wrestle for a living. That's what I do. I don't function in normal society. So I went over to Japan. Literally within 2 days of asking for my release, I was already booked there, and they offered me full time, So, but after being there for, now it's been 7 years, I just fell in love with the place. And around there, the wrestlers, but now from what I hear, like WWE's really cleaned up, and they're really strict on it, and it's like the best thing that ever happened,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some guys that fall through the cracks and stuff, but I'm sure it's like, I can tell, man, guys, just by looking at them, that, you know what I mean? They're on their A game.
Yeah. I mean, Bruno Sammartino was, for years, that, didn't want to do anything with WWE, and his opinion was they actually cleaned it up, and I never thought I'd see him back, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want to be one of those old, bitter wrestlers, dude.
Yeah. Okay,
life's too fucking short to live in hate and all that, so, that's not going to be me, man.
Yeah. I'm just saying, though, that, he in his mind it's cleaned up, so I think that that accounts for something.
Yeah. Well, I think Hunter has a lot more involvement now as well, and he's always been a straight edge type of guy,
Yeah.
So yeah, looking back, I'm not trying to kiss the motherfucker's ass. I still think he looks like Toucan Sam with that big schnoz of his, but he's not a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Who were some of the guys in WWE that were bad guys? No, I'm just kidding. Who were some of the guys that were that you would feel were supportive and helpful?
Helpful and supportive?
Yeah.
All the old time agents, like Blackjack Lanza was cool as shit. Tony Gurria was awesome. Even Pat, man, that was always cool to talk to. There's a lot of guys who, it's been it's been 7 years, but, I try to remember the good things and the good times. I don't want to live it.
Do you feel like they had high, like they thought you would, be like a top guy in the company? Did you get that feeling, or?
I think so. There's a few times like Vince came up to me like, "Good things ahead of you, kid." I'm like, okay, whatever. But I got a cool run with Cena for 6 months, and I'm sure if I would have stuck around, we would have crossed paths again. And dude, I'm only 30.
Yeah.
He's like, I think 37, 38 now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I could go there. Whatever. I love wrestling, man. It's my life, and nothing turns me on more. And you talk about addiction, man. There's nothing more addictive than going in front of 20, 30, 40,000 people and fucking blowing the roof off the place. Mm-hmm. That is the greatest high you will ever get. Believe me, nothing can top that.
Mm-hmm. In your wrestling in Japan, were you a fan of Japanese wrestling before you went to Japan?
Well, one of my biggest inspirations, man, was like Masahiro Chono.
Mm-hmm.
When he was a young boy, Japanese young boy, he was like 25. New Japan sent him over here, work for my father's territory, right? And he was such a badass, man. I was like just watching him walk to the ring, He just had like that Japanese style mullet, He had the Fu Manchu going on, and he just looked like a fucking badass. And he did like moves I'd never seen before, like the backspring elbow that you see Muda do.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that. Well, him and Muda grew up in the dojos together, So they were real tight. But then he like took his. When I told him Muda's story, he's like, "Oh, asshole, you take my move." But I first seen him do that backspring elbow, man. I told this story before, but it was like, fuck, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
From like 18, we didn't have, like, when I graduated from high school, like, I had planned out, man. I was in the gym like every day since I was literally 13 years old, working out with weights. Like, rarely did I ever miss a day. I would literally work out so hard that I would throw up. You know what I mean? Like, you see those guys doing squats and they throw up in a bucket. Well, that was me, okay? So, I said, because we didn't have no connections. My father had been out of the business, and we didn't have any connections to go, like, maybe Japan or whatever. All we had was WWE. We knew people in WWE. So, so at 18, that's when I got signed. But Jesus Christ, I was 6'3", 250-pound kid, who had just won Mr. Canada title, bodybuilding. And I was pretty athletic in the ring, and, I loved the business, and I had passion for it. So it made sense for them to sign me, I think,
Yeah. You talked, the high of the crowd, being in front of the crowd. And I know Japanese crowds do react differently to matches, but is it the same? Do you still get the same experience?
You can, but it's in a different form, right? It's a different way. Like, they're a lot more westernized now,
Yeah.
But their big thing, like, Korakuen Hall is like, that's like the gauge for every company. If Korakuen Hall is good, then you're in good, everybody's happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when you work in the main event, Korakuen Hall, like, they'll stomp their feet where it sounds like thunder in between, like, the false finishes or whatever. And that's when you know you got them, right?
Yeah.
And they'll do like that 1, 2, 3, for the final pin, and then the kick out, and they'll do that now. So it's great.
Now, I saw some pictures where you're wearing a mask in Japan. What was the story there, and do you still do that?
Yeah, that was working for Hustle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they gave me a contract, but it's like, okay, well, you'll do like 3 months, and we'll do like. They didn't want to use the name Dupree. Maybe they were scared for copyright reasons or whatever.
Yeah.
They called me Rene Bonaparte, like Napoleon Bonaparte or whatever. Yeah. No, it was basically the same gimmick. I came out with the French flag and had a robe and was like a womanizer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. But then they brought in me and Lance Cade, and it was for like a special. Is that the mask you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. It almost looked like Bullet Bob Armstrong to me. I don't know.
Yeah. It was for because they had this huge show in I think it was Saitama Super Arena or the Budokan, and it was a Dynamite. And I think back in the day there was the Sharp Brothers. They were really big in Japan.
Yeah.
So they wanted us to be Dyna and Might Sharp. I think I was Dyna and Cade was Might.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got to work with Tenma. That was cool.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, I did see a pic, and it said as Dinah Sharp, and I was like, I almost sounded like it was like a female name, and I was just like, I don't understand this. But now it makes sense.
Yeah, now you got the real story.
Yeah. I used to get the tapes hustle because it was just bizarre and it was a lot of fun. Was it as much fun to work there?
Yeah, it was easy work, man.
Yeah,
really easy. Yeah, it was easy money and it was fun. I mean, I got to work singles match with Kawada, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the hardest chop I had ever felt in my life was from Kawada.
Yeah,
it's a toss-up between Kawada and Tenryu, but man, they can hit hard. But it just makes it tougher. You know what I mean? It makes it like a lot of guys when they go from there, their work elevates and gets better. Just because I don't know, it's a different intensity, it's a different vibe. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of that, people always talk about the WWE style. Is there a WWE style
over there? You mean?
I mean, in the WWE, because I've heard we've had people on the show who said that's a myth. There is no WWE style, and some people say yes, there's a WWE style. You have to learn when you go there. And does WWE have its own style?
That's a good question. I rarely watch the matches on TV. I YouTube a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Just because I'm over in Japan a lot, and when I'm home, like I'm usually in bed at 10 o'clock. I'm an old man when I'm home. When I'm home, I do nothing but work out twice a day and hang out with my wife and do work on my computer. So, I think there's a lot of those guys. Like I think Cesaro was great, Dragon and Daniel Bryan, and they got some of their best matches were when they worked in Noah in Japan, Noah style. So I think that they should, they shouldn't do anything really, but they do what they're.
Yeah.
So, but if they let Daniel Bryan and Cesaro do that Noah style, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, I think if there was, the WWE style that they used to talk about a lot, it probably was more a few years ago, because there's a more diverse style now. Guys not everyone's doing the same moves. People are bringing their own thing to it.
All right. Well, they got a lot of better workers too.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I think that the Wyatt brothers, the tall guy with the red beard, he's not. He never came from anywhere, did he? He was like a football player.
I will say I actually think he has. I'm not saying he's great or anything, but I do think he's actually improved since he's been on WWE TV.
Well, he has no choice. I mean, he's working all the live events, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But that Bray Wyatt, like his promos, man, just spectacular, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
awesome,
he's got definitely a charisma about him when he's out there. You're drawn to.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he's a big Heath Ledger fan because I see a lot of the Joker in him at times, and of course Jake the Snake, you could really see that in him as well. So, but yeah, I think a lot more wrestlers should look at movie stars as well if they want to improve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's interesting.
Yeah, like Al Pacino, maybe you can copy him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm a big so Luke Harper. I know he's Brody Lee, and I used to see him wrestle all the time around here in New England.
Yeah, I worked him in England when he was Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really good guy, and but he's got that look. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
He must be 6'7", 6'8", and just with that beard, when he grew out that beard, and he got man.
It was always it was weird when I used to see him wrestle around here, Dragon Gate USA or whatnot, and because he said he is like legit 6'8", and all the other guys are like 5'8", or maybe even some of them were shorter. So it was but he would do that same style with those guys. It was odd to see.
Yeah. There's a lot of great talent up there.
Yeah.
Now.
And he's a guy, because, Bray Wyatt's a talker, so he's there talking all the time, and maybe he doesn't have a lot to do, but just his little stares at the camera and stuff, he's always doing something.
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing that Vince
I think that dude right there, he's saving pro wrestling. He's saving the WWE. He's bringing it to a new generation.
We have a
you know what the best part is? He doesn't have a six-pack abs. He doesn't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But no. You know what? I turned fucking wrestling off. When it got so bad, when Vince's man bought that shit up and just beat it down our throats and just like recycled the shit. Bray, that dude's bringing something fresh to the air. When you got a crowd at WrestleMania all like chanting, they got the whole world. That's fucking creepy. That is fucking balls to the wall. It's one thing to get people just to go say a 4-letter word, what? But that's a pop, dude. That dude.
Hold on a second before you just talk over everybody. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I am Gumbo from Indiana.
All right.
I thought that was Orange Biceps talking, dude. This guy just jumped on the phone.
No, it's not me.
He's very passionate, though, about Bray Wyatt. So.
But I've always loved, as you guys do, too. You're obviously wrestling fans. You wouldn't be doing this shit, talking about it if you weren't. I want to love wrestling, but it makes you mad so many times, too. As you're watching, you're like, why are you guys doing that? Like you want to see this, you want to see that, but, that dude, I like that. I like seeing Cena, almost looking like a fucking fool out there. Ooh. Whereas this crazy dude is actually almost like he's popping, babyface chance out there in the crowd when he's really trying to play a heel. That's pretty cool. We haven't seen that for a while, I don't believe, but what the fuck do I know?
A question about me, dude?
Do you have a question from Rene?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just wanted to come in here and just listen.
All right, well, thanks for calling.
Jesus Christ. Interview time.
Oh, Jesus. Can you cut that part out? No, it's live. Shit.
Good old Gumbo.
Oh, good guy.
Yeah, that was good. All right. So, yeah, that took us off. But have you heard anything about Jeff Jarrett's company?
No, I just heard the name, Global Force Wrestling or whatever. Oh, I actually emailed them, yeah. Yeah, someone gave me his email, so I just emailed him and said, apparently I was already in his talent database, whatever that is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he says there's 500 people in his database. So.
Oh, that's competition, brother.
Yes, that would be a hell of a roster.
Yeah.
But, when we were naming names for people that I thought would be good in the company, actually I thought of your name.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I know Jared, he's not a stupid guy. I know he's smart, and his dad was even smarter, So, whatever. It'd be nice for the boys to have another place to work, earn a living, But, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Speaking of the Inchman, do you have a question, Incher?
Yeah, I had a question from the message board. Change Man, he wants to know, what's the biggest misconception about you?
About me? That I'm actually the person you saw on TV. Yeah, for real. Yeah. I think maybe back then I maybe came across, because I think a lot of people backstage didn't like me, But, hey, man, I was a 20-year-old kid. 21-year-old kid. I left there when I was 23. So, you blame it on age at times. I think that's a big part, because I never maliciously tried to hurt anybody. I'm not that type of person. At times I'm very confident in my ability, now more than ever. I'm here to do a job, and I can do it very well. So, but, when you really get to know me, I'm a down-to-earth guy.
I've always thought that you have to have, confidence in your ability. You have to, I don't say ego.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You got to be strong when you're up there. You got to, because if not, people will try to tear you down. It's like that in any business, in the business world, Don't forget, yes, it is entertainment, but it's also fucking business, and big business. They make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with those kind of numbers, you gotta you got to bring it because people want to take you down. That's just human nature.
Mm-hmm. Now, did they put you and Sylvain together, like, to get you guys ready to go to WWE?
Oh, no. That was, like, talk about right place, right time, you know? That was it, because I believe it's fate. You know, it was destined to happen, because I was in OVW, 6 months before I started doing dark matches, and I met Pat Patterson, you know, and then he was bringing in Sylvain, which was his protege, and, you know, he kind of hinted towards, you know, I just want to see what you guys look like together in the ring, you know, but then the whole thing with France happened, you know, the whole war, you know, they refused to back America with the Iraqi war, right? So it's like, well, boom, we have two French guys here. It's all over the news. It's kind of like when the Iron Sheik and Hulk Hogan fought, you know, over the thing in Iran, or Sergeant Slaughter, rather. It's huge business. Anytime there's a war, dude, it's fucking huge business for wrestling. So, you know, so were we ready as a team? Hell no, because we only tagged up maybe half a dozen times.
Yeah. Did you feel like you guys had a good chemistry together?
Definitely not. No. No. He, I'll say this about Sly. I'm not going to bury the guy, although he's buried me countless times. I'm not going to go down to that level, but he was not a fan of wrestling growing up. Mm-hmm. And I was still a kid. I was 19 when we got put together. I was still a huge fan. You know what I mean? So I couldn't relate. And plus, I'm a 19-year-old kid. He's 23, 24 at the time, you know. And he's from Quebec. I'm from the Maritimes. Okay, I know you guys probably don't know anything about Canada, right?
No.
But, you know, Canada's the second largest country in the world. It's different areas of Canada. All Canadians are alike.
Right. Just like thinking like all Americans would be like.
Was that?
Yeah,
I mean, a guy from California is not going to be like the same as a guy from Texas, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Different upbringings. So, I'm from small town Canada, town less than 10,000 people, and he's from, I think, he grew up in Montreal, Quebec, which is, you know, Sin City. So, different. You know, he was an underwear model too. You know, I grew up in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how he was like discovered? They just saw his luck, like this guy, you know.
No, apparently he met. Well, the story he told me, he met Pat on a golf course.
Okay. And
they started golfing, and then just became friends. And
now, I don't know if you want to answer this or not, or maybe you do. I have no idea. But there's always a rumor that him and Pat were, you know, more than friends. Did you see anything there, or do you believe those, or what's your thoughts on that?
I never seen it, so I'd have to see it to believe it.
Right.
So it's not none of my business either.
That's
what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whatever they do is that's what they do. Cool. If not, I don't really give a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
We had Sylvain on years ago. I can't remember if he. I actually tried to look it up, but I probably should look.
Oh, really?
No, I can't remember.
He buried me, right?
I don't think he did. I tried to. I did a search on our site to see if anyone had talked about you in their interviews, and I don't believe he said anything bad about you.
Well, he did another, and he called me an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did. Conway had talked about you.
Conway?
Yeah. Not bad. He just said that when you guys were together, he just he thought like kind of like what you just said about Sylvain, that you were different ages and different people, and
oh fuck yeah,
it's like you guys just didn't have anything in common.
Yeah, like when I always got along with Paul and all the young guys, you know, Paul and Nick, the same age. Yeah, I was there so young, man. Plus, I'm ignorant to a lot of things in life, you know.
Yeah.
So
what was
was that?
I was just say, what was like the reason given to you guys that they put Rob Conway in with you, so you made it a 3-person group?
Bro, you get fucking slide bitch to Pat that I was fucking a pain in the ass, so they find a way to get rid of me. Yeah, that's probably what happened. That's probably not exactly what happened.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I love like. Sly hurt his neck, apparently, you know. So he got sent home to heal. And then me and Conway worked together, but that was great because we're both like bodybuilders, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was such a great routine. You know, you Friday, say you're on Raw, right? So Friday you fly out, boom, as soon as you land, you go straight to the gym, boom, you work out, go straight, get something to eat, go straight to the arena, do your match, shower up, head to the next town, and do, you know what I mean? It was a great routine. But then sometimes you ride with guys who don't follow that same routine, and, you know, that's what you want to do because you're obsessive compulsive and, you know, you want to, you know. So it's hard to find a really good riding partner, but when you do, you try to hang on to them. You guys still there?
Yeah. I was just, do you think that was good for the team to have 3 people in it?
Well, I mean, shit, look at the Freebirds. It's kind of cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got over. You know, so I think 3-man teams are good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
a lot of 3-man, look at the Shield, look at the Wyatts, look at, you know, they're all successful. They get over, you know?
Yeah. I do think sometimes it depends on the Shield and the Wyatts is great, and the Freebirds, obviously. But sometimes when they add like a third, or even if they have 4 or 5 people, like when they had the Spirit Squad, I always think one problem that could be is like then they put those guys in a lot of handicap matches, and it can kind of make them seem kind of weak because it's like 3 guys always facing 2 or 1 guy.
I don't look at it that deep, really.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like when I was there, they would like analyze things to the. Oh, it's like they'd basically overproduce it, you know? And I'm thinking, okay, we think it that way, but do you really think the fucking 6-7-year-old kids are going to think the same way we do? Right. You know what I mean? And their parents who bring them there just because they want to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the mom's going, she just wants to look at, you know, hot guys in tights, and the father just wants to look at the hot broads, and the kids just want to cheer for Cena or whoever the babyface is, right?
Right.
So, I think sometimes it's like overanalyzed and overthought at times, but whatever. Oh. The bottom line is they're making money, brother.
Yeah. Did you think having an American guy in the group made sense?
It was good heat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Conway's a great worker, and him and Sly are about the same height and size, you know. Yeah. I was a little taller than Sly, a little bit bigger, so. But no, I got nothing. I made a lot of money doing that run, so I'm happy with it, brother.
You talk about heat. Did you ever run into outside of the ring and stuff where like fans or whoever would be like
fans. Me and Lance Cade were leaving because I didn't want to ride with Sly anymore. Me and Lance Cade were like almost the same age and really close. Boston Gardens were leaving in a fucking fan. And I had a lot of heat, you know, the resistance at the time, and they fucking threw a rock right on my roof. Boom! Fucking Cade was driving. He's like, "Oh my god!" And just fucking took off. Yeah, but you know, for the most part, the fans that went after the show, they kind of get it. They still just want your autograph because they see it on TV and shit. You know? Yeah.
But I mean, I think I was working at a nursing home at the time. When the Freedom Fries and Freedom Toast and all, because we actually
that was a huge thing all over the news. Americans just hated us.
Yeah. So even if they're not necessarily believe wrestling or whatever, they might just dislike you just because you say you're French.
Well, I think there's a general disdain for French people in general, right, throughout the world. Yeah. Well, at least North America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I hated being the French guy after a while. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, hey, I'm talking to you now. Do you hear an accent on me?
I hear kind of a Canadian accent.
Well, I'm back in Canada, eh? Yeah. Well, the whole French thing, everybody thought I was really from France, for the most part, right? So I did my job right.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah. There you go.
Inchman's from West Virginia, so they hate all foreigners there.
West Virginia. You got any more callers on any more message board?
They were calling in. Questions? I stopped taking. But, Inchman, do you have a question from the board?
Yeah, I have a question from the board. Which wrestler's death hit you the hardest?
Oh. Toss up, probably Lance Cade. And Eddie, they all did.
Yeah.
But Eddie and Lance definitely. They were tied.
It sounded like you're pretty close to Lance.
Fuck yeah. He was like the first American friend I ever had, in the wrestling business. Because I first met him, I first met him in HWA when I went there for Les Thatcher, Heartland Wrestling Association. And at first there was like a little bit of resentment because he was a young star, 21 or whatever, and I coming out, I'm 18, and he's like, fuck this guy, but we grew to be friends. And then we tagged together, like in OVW. Our first, I think, my first, tag dark match. No, second dark match was with him as a tag, But, I miss Lance a lot. I see the guys, there of us together on my dresser in my room. Mm-hmm. I see him every day.
Let's see. We got Jimmy Jam on the line. Jimmy Jam, do you have a question for Renee?
Yes. How did it feel when you made Rob Dupree as the third member of Long Resistance?
We just talked about that, Jimmy Jam.
Do I have to answer that since we just talked about it?
Yeah, we just talked about that, Jimmy Jam, but perhaps you're not listening live. But that's cool.
Rob was great. Rob was awesome.
Which promotion are you wrestling in now?
Wrestle 1 in Japan.
Thanks, Jimmy Jam.
Yeah.
Did you prefer doing singles or tag team more?
Singles, just because just the gratification you get knowing that you're working magic with another guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're especially when you put it together yourself and you go out there and boom. I'm telling you, man, like I can't stress enough that pop, that you get. It's like, it's better than any drug you'll ever get, but you can still get that as a talent, as well. It's whatever gets to people. I remember the matches with the Dudleys we had every night.
Yeah.
We had the people, and that's just, that feeling was just, it was to the point to where they put us on last. Us versus the Dudleys would be main event in a lot of places,
Mm-hmm.
And just, that's where you strive to want to be. You want to be the fucking main event.
Bubba Ray's a guy that a lot of people are split on. Some people, think he has a great mind for wrestling, and some people think he's really hard. Well, I guess you could be both. He could be hard to work with and have a great mind for wrestling. But what are your thoughts on Bubba Ray?
He should be an agent now. Strictly an agent.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I think. Yeah. And great mind for putting together finishes and different spots and stuff like that, yeah. He's definitely a different style of wrestling, but his style, what he does works, and is very good. But as far as maybe now, if he should, and very smart business-wise as well, personally, he can be a real prick, yes. Yes, he can. But I respect people for, I'm not in this business to make friends. We're business associates. If you have a mind for business and it works, then I want to be okay, let's do business because I can make money with you. You know what I mean? So, and I think, he could be a very successful promoter as well, if he brings his mind to it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of him as a wrestler. But I know people always said that he had a lot, I know you weren't in these, but he had a lot to do with the TLC matches, putting together different spots. And,
very, very creative mind,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Dudleys have been around, how long have they been making money on TV, It takes talent to be able to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, they've been over every company they've ever worked for.
Yeah, they were very, very successful.
And one of the few acts, besides guys that were just kind of in and out of ECW, like Steve Austin and Mick Foley, but one of the few things that were really known for ECW that I think really took off in WWE.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Now, speaking of that, what did you when you went to the ECW, the WWE's version of ECW? What did you think of that idea? And being a guy that was already in the company, how did people look at it going to the ECW brand?
Honestly, I was just hoping that we could make money there.
Mm-hmm.
Just put me on the road, because I just bought a house. I was like, I don't care where I work, just put me on the road so I can make money. So whether it's ECW, great. If more guys can get on the road and make more money, great, you know. But see, it was just at its beginning phases, and that ECW brand didn't generate very much money. Because I remember some of the house shows, there was 500, 1,000 people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't drawn. And yeah, I mean, make all the excuses you want. Oh, well, it's not, you know, Paul Heyman wasn't the booker of bullshit. You know, he had all the fucking stars, you know, the Sabus, Van Dam, Sandman, Balls Mahoney. Like, he had all the top guys there, and it just didn't work.
Do you think there's any reason for that, or you just think, you know, ECW's time was up, or just...
I mean, I liked the original ECW because, you know, I grew up in Canada, so when it got on TNN, that's when I really started to see it, you know. Mm-hmm. But by then, they had lost a lot of their stars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The WCW or WWE, you know, picked them all up. So, but I did get a chance to see Van Dam wrestle, which, you know, I always loved his style. You know, and he was always very athletic, but, you know, where he sharpened up was in Japan. He did those tours all Japan, and then, you know, at first Sabu told me the story, like, Paulie was like, you want me to push Robbie V? You know, because I don't think Heyman followed the stuff he was doing in Japan, right?
Yeah.
You know, WCW.
Yeah, I remember him in WCW's Robbie V.
Yeah.
On stuff, yeah.
Sabu had to fight for Van Dam to get a spot, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think to myself, like, I thought Paulie was such a just creative genius and eye for talent. How can you not see Van Dam as being a fucking superstar, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I worked Van Dam, Jesus Christ, at least 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's some guys, you know, you just click with, and you can walk down, you know, you give me and Van Dam, okay, Van Dam was finished. 5-star, okay, we'll go there and give you 30 minutes. We done it. Yeah, we did tours of France together and worked every night. It was a lot of good times.
Let's speak of that, you know, people talk about, you know, calling the ring. I actually said that before we went live here. Or you know, putting together the match behind the scenes. Which do you prefer? And if it works, do you really think there is a problem with either way?
I don't want to, like, well, I mean, the business is so fucking exposed. Like, talking how to put together matches. When Rip did his interview, did he talk about how to put together matches and shit?
I'm not really positive. Like you said, it was fun.
Yeah. The thing is, if I work with a guy a lot, and we know it, then, yeah. If I've worked with you, say, 50, 60 times in the past. Then
you just know, like you said, you know what's...
Yeah, and that's when it flows, and then, like, the stuff in between comes, you know, that you don't think about it when you call it A to Z. Like, the emotion, the selling, the facial expressions, the little things that, you know, you can do that you can't call in the back, that you just do in the ring on the fly, and that's what gets the best reaction. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you know, once you felt that and you've been a part of that, and then you get better at calling in the ring. You know, but you got to learn both in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Just real quick about ECW. When it was, you know, ECW, I remember, you know, I loved ECW, and I would look forward to when they'd have the pay-per-views, so you could see, like, a long RVD match. That was like, oh, man, this is really something special.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff, believe it or not, they didn't call it in the back. They just called it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it kind of seemed like...
I don't know. There's a lot of people who have mixed opinions on that.
I did want to ask about the time when you had the cool... I say cool. I don't know how everyone else feels about that, but the weird facial hair.
Yeah. I know a lot of guys would just sit around and wait for, like, a writer to come up with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just got, like, fuck this. I'll come up with my own idea. I'll, you know, change myself. So, yeah, I grew that funky looking, because I had red facial hair, actually.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I had to, what I would do is I grab mascara or whatever, and I dye it in before the shows. And I dyed my hair jet black, and I would, like, put mascara on my eyebrows, too. Just because there's so much emphasis on your facial expressions, and, you know, this is where your money is. You'd always hear that every meeting from Vince McMahon. So, okay, if I want to change something about me, I'll change my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I would have debuted like that, it was like a Damien Demento type of look, you know? But, yeah, I love wrestling, man, and I've been around it, like I told you, 24/7. So I'm always thinking of different ideas for myself, or, you know, just angles, how to make money, basically, you know. So I love every aspect of the business, and whether it's setting up the fucking ring or, you know, wrestling, refereeing, I've done every job there is to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I never thought about the Damien Demento, but now that I know who he is, and how his fan is. But,
but I was actually going for like an Ox Baker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He just beat me up in Charlotte.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It was cool. I was very proud of being manhandled by Ox Baker.
Yeah.
Well, Damien Demento, I don't know, we're getting off the subject here, but he had one spot I always thought was great. He would he'd go to bite a guy's head, and before he would do it, he'd like mime salting like their head, and then he'd bite him. And I don't know, that just stuck with me. I thought that was great.
He's over, brother.
He is with me anyway. Do you ever had watch like older guys and like would get little things from them? Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe.
Oh fuck yeah! Where do you think I got the French tickler dance? I got that from Martel.
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my mannerisms in the ring just goes from being a fan and watching it. You know, I'll copy like sometimes I just do it to pop myself. I'll copy like 4 or 5 different wrestlers. You know what I mean? I'll copy Macho Man, then I'll do like big Chono fan, so I do the thumbs up that Van Damme does.
Yeah.
Well, Chono actually originated that, but he doesn't do like the Van Damme point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he probably got that from, I think, Dick the Bruiser back in the day. He used to do something similar. Yeah. But, yeah, I think anybody who ever makes it has to be a fan, man. Some way, you know?
Yeah. Did you see a lot of that when you were in OVW and guys that, did you tell the difference between guys that, grew up being fans and guys that were just there trying to become a TV star? Or just in wrestling in general?
Yeah, like, fuck, man. I tell you what really killed morale, is when they did that fucking $1 Million Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then Daniel Puter, I called him Pubert. But, here's this little fucking guy making, $250,000, and then you got other guys there working full time, busting their ass, and they're making half of that, before taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that would like fucking piss you off. But maybe the reason behind it was to make the guys work harder, or but who gets all the heat? It's the fucking guy making the money, right?
Yeah. Has anyone I don't know off the top of my head. Has anyone like actually made it from Tough Enough?
Yeah, Josh Matthews.
Okay.
He has had a job for 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, paycheck. Yeah, he's the most successful. Who's the best? The most successful Tough Enough? It's him. Think about it.
It's true.
He was Tough Enough because he still got a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. As far as being a draw, no. I mean, people go, what about Jim Morrison? He didn't draw shit, dude.
No.
No.
Matt Morgan was on Tough Enough. He didn't win it or anything.
Well, he wasn't tough enough. He couldn't finish the show.
That's right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
But he still got hired.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, dude, if I think about my class of OVW, now that we're talking about it, I think myself and Conway are the only 2 active wrestlers still.
And the majority of those guys were really talked about at the time.
Excuse me?
The majority of the guys that were in OVW at the time, like people thought, would really take off. But like you said, there's only a couple guys that are still.
Yeah. The original, when I was there, that original class, with Batista and Orton and Cena. I mean, they were like the first class called up, and those are the ones that have been pushed for the past, Jesus Christ, 10 years.
Yeah.
But like I said, hey, are they making money? Are they making money? Answer that question.
Orton and Cena and Batista, I would assume they're probably doing pretty good.
Well, everybody, the company's making money, and he takes care of the ones that, help his business.
Yeah.
That's the business world, man.
I believe Rob Conway's, see the train?
He's doing a lot of stuff over in New Japan.
Oh.
I think he's part of the NWA Resurrected or whatever. But I think Dinsmore is actually a trainer.
No, okay.
Yeah, but from what I hear, they don't actually physically get in the ring and train. They just like coach from the sidelines. But that's what Rip did, and I learned from him. So.
Did you get any ribs from Rip?
No. His wife is a rib. No, Rip. No, he's so passionate for wrestling. So one thing borderline crazy. But just like when he'd see stupid shit, he'd just go off and we would just laugh. It'd just be funny to us. But he would explain things, and a lot of people would just think, oh, he's crazy. I don't want to fucking listen to him. But if you really listen to him, yeah, he's crazy. But if you go past the craziness and really listen to what he's saying, all the stuff made sense. But I mean, I've learned, as far as a teacher, everybody I've ever worked, I learned. Even if I'm working with a green boy who has no experience, well, I'm learning from him because I'm learning how to fucking work with a green boy.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think you really, maybe you have, I don't know, but I don't think you've ever had any interaction with the Warrior, but he passed away recently, and when you were a fan, were you a fan of Warrior at all?
Who wasn't as a kid? A lot of people backstage apparently didn't like the guy, but from what I hear, he actually had he was a stand-up guy. Maybe he didn't fucking want to go out and party and get all fucked up, or maybe he did. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. But, again, he was like a high-maintenance bodybuilder, which a lot of people in the wrestling business, like the old-timers, don't like. You know what I mean? Because, do what they do. But, yeah, I mean, that theme song, especially. You know what I mean? I still have it on my iPod when I work out. Nothing gets me more pumped than that. Yeah.
Hitchman, did you have a question? I know there was some on the Facebook page. I don't know if you have them handy.
Yeah, I got one from the Facebook page. Robert L. Wilson, he wants to know, was La Resistance really what you wanted to do at the time?
Make money? Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I want to do. No, but I mean, I have a different mindset at 30 years old than I did when I was 19, okay? Dude, I was main event Raw. We were on top. We were fucking on a good spot.
Yeah.
And that gimmick, dude, it worked. People want to see us get annihilated. They want to see us get beat. We had real heat, I remember one time, Madison Square Garden, we had I think they made us sing the fucking French. Me and Sly had to go back in the garden and learn the lyrics to the French national anthem, But they cut to break, and then we're, dark. So then I just ad-libbed this promo, and I said, you know what USA stands for? So the U stands for unappreciative, the S stands for selfish, because you're all selfish people, and the A is the most important part. The A stands for assholes. And when you get this heat, especially in New York City, man, this wave, you just feel it, and that's like another high that I'm talking about. And when you do that as a heel, I love being a heel, I love being a babyface. I love getting that babyface pop, and I love fucking pissing the people off to where they just want to. Literally, when I was on ECW, I had fans swing at me. I was doing that. I just had like white tights and white boots and whatever. And I remember going down the aisle, and I put my face in this kid's face, and I just gave him a smirk, and he swung at me. The security escorted him out or whatever. But to be able to have that, and when you have a baby face like Cena, how easy it is. And there was no Cena sucks chance when I was working up, by the way. That's why I know that I can go there tomorrow and just draw so much money with all those guys.
Yeah.
But,
Is that a point of pride if you are, the heel, the bad guy, that the guy, the babyface good guy you're wrestling is being cheered?
Fuck yeah. That's your job. To know that you're the reason why there's people there, you're the reason why the place is sold out, that should be every guy's. Not to have the best match on the card, but to have the best angle that draws the most money. You know what I mean? That's what you should strive for. And the ones who are successful do.
Is there a difference between the heel heat and getting babyface pop to you, or is it really just getting the emotion from people?
Well, okay, when you script out a match, and they're just, popping for big moves, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you have like a 30-minute match, there's a difference between a main eventer and a guy who's a highlight or an attraction, When you get a main event and they give you 20, 30 minutes and you tell that story, you work, build it, and then just that final pop at the end when you get the 1, 2, 3, That's the most gratifying kind of thing a wrestler can ask for, in my opinion. Plus a large paycheck.
That'll sell.
That works too.
Yeah. When you're doing the Cafe Rene, I don't know what you call them, but the little interview segments, did you enjoy that? Do you think that was a good fit for your character?
I don't know if you remember this far back, but the one I did with Fifi was it was in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're sitting, and they had the camera on me at first, and we're like at a dinner table where I was talking, and it sounded like I was talking to like a beautiful woman. I said, "Oh, your eyes are so pretty," and they had Fifi the dog sitting on the stool right in front of me. I choreographed that whole segment. The writer came up to me and goes, "Rene, what do you think we should do here? I want you to do the script, the whole thing." I was like, "Okay." So I got the dog. We're going to sit down here. I was like, "Okay, put the camera on me. I'll start talking like I'm talking to I had the beret on. And then you'll pan out and put the dog, pop into the dog, And I can remember just hearing it in the arena. That's a huge pop, So, yeah, like, I could do any part of the job, I love wrestling in the ring. I love being the announcer. When I run my shows, I'll do the announcing. Every part of the wrestling business I love, from a creative standpoint to whatever, And Cafe Rene, it was just something to help build the angle with Cena, basically,
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. And but I enjoy when you had to memorize like 50 fucking lines or whatever, But if they gave me bullet points and call on the fly, I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to actually bring the dog around to different cities?
No, they had mentioned it at first, but gee, what pain in the ass that would have been, because you got to check the dog, you got to pick up the dog, you got to, find a hotel that accept dogs. You got to, most rental cars probably won't rent your car if you have a dog. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these different factors that, plus I need to be babysat anyway because I'm a baby. I couldn't rent a car at the time, I don't think. You got to be 25, I was only like 21.
Yeah.
So, but I remember when I was going to get look on TV, we do like live events or whatever, and I'd come out and like, "Where's Fifi?" The kids wanted to see Fifi, and I was pushing for like, "Hey man, I know I'm a heel and everything, but make little fucking Fifi dolls, little toy poodle dolls." You know what I mean? That shit would have gotten over,
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. Because I was a huge British Bulldog fan growing up.
Yeah.
And Matilda was the shit. Fucking everybody loves English Bulldogs, so I figured if I'm a French guy with bigger heat than a fucking French poodle, all manicured and shit, right?
Exactly.
And it's, think about it from a television standpoint, and you're flicking and you see this jacked up bleach blonde with, a French poodle walking down the aisle. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you're going to stop and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, there's a lot of people who love dogs.
Yeah. I was a big fan when the Islanders stole Matilda, and they were.
I remember that angle, yeah.
And they had the leashes with no dog on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something I always remember. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in the chat room, Chi-Town, Matt wants to know who's the hardest person you had to work with in the ring.
Hardest person. Jeez. There's someone we know probably, right, from WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. Matches that I have a real stinker with. I can't say. I was always one of the guys that they'd run to when they needed a good match or somebody.
Yeah.
They'd usually run to me.
Is that another thing that you would feel good about? Like if they would, like, hey, this guy, you don't have to name any names, but maybe this guy he's got charisma or whatever, but he's just not very good in the ring, and we'll put him in with Rene.
Yeah, I remember the time we were in England, and Cena was just, was starting that angle or whatever. I think they had just finished. But they put Cena's highlight reel right before the show, and the whole building started booing him. And then they ran up to me. I don't know he was supposed to wrestle, but they ran up to me and said, we got to change it. Rene, we need to put you in there. Just because, you know, they needed a great heel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I believe at one time I was probably like the best heel they had. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter who I'd work, they hated me. Yeah.
No, that's, I don't know. I don't know if you were there at the time. If you want to talk about it, but I just watched. It was a Timeline Piper DVD, and he talked about going to WWE. He did like a Piper's Pit on SmackDown, and there was he did it with Simon Dean, and apparently Simon Dean disrespected him, and I guess the locker room was really.
Yeah, I heard Nova was crying.
Yeah, that was
crying in the back. Yeah. I just heard the story that he started crying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking stupid rules that, you know, well, looking back, yeah, you know, no matter what, Japanese style, respect your elders, no matter if you're in the wrestling business or not. You know, respect those that came before you. And sometimes I would get heat for stupid shit, you know. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, whatever, I apologize, but I'm trying to draw money here. You know, leave me alone. I'm trying to get over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. But yeah, I saw Nova's interview preview. I might as well talk about it. Fuck it. Where yeah, he's a little confused. If you watch it, have you seen it on YouTube?
The Nova one?
Nova shoot interview preview.
No,
I saw the preview. I didn't watch his whole shoot, but in the
yeah.
preview, like, because I called him out and told him with RF, right? And I said, yeah, when fucking Mike Bucci got the position as it, you know, this is where he pissed me off. We were in OVW. I would think I was on hiatus or whatever, and I was there, and Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, his buddy, Dolph Ziggler, his buddy from Cleveland was there. He was an amateur wrestler, had a good build. He wasn't very tall, but charismatic, could work. And all I said was, hey, Nova, you see this guy? He goes, yeah, I've seen him. And then, like, he talked under his breath, like, oh, this guy's trying to take my job. Like, oh, motherfucker. Like, that's where I saw the change, you know. And then, but, you know, he's office now. He's not one of the boys. So that obviously, you know, that's what happens, you know, whether he realized it or not. But then he when I got out of the rehab, in his interview preview, he says that he called me every 2 weeks. That was impossible because you're not allowed to have a phone. So he was lying there. And he started yelling at me and called me a stupid motherfucker on the phone. So I hung up the phone. I called Johnny Ace, and I asked Johnny for help, which they provided. But for him to think that he had any type of power to fire me at that time, he's fucking dreaming technical, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we got DJ Munchies, Harry Bean on the line. Harry, do you have a question for Rene Dupree?
Hey, Neil Jones, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, Rene, nice talking to you, my friend. I actually didn't really watch a whole lot of OVW at the time, and I haven't really followed a whole lot of wrestling as of late because, you know, realistically, I'm kind of tied up in about 500 other ventures. But I actually did want to call out and give shout-outs to my man Neil and let him know that, you know, we're listening, that we got his back, and, you know, give mad shout-outs to him and let him know that I love Without Your Head. And for all those people that are hating on my man Neil, you got to understand one thing. Me and Neil go way back. Years, about 4 years now, Neil, from your very first con with Days of the Dead, correct?
Yeah, that's right, yep.
And we've hosted many wrestlers. We've called, well, I can't say we, but Neil's called John Dugan Jim Dugan, which was actually one of the highlights of my DJ career. But, yeah, realistically, Neil, though, I just wanted to give you mad shout-outs, let you know that, you know, my radio show supports your radio show. From Dust Till Con Radio supports Without Your Head. I love you.
All right.
And,
pretty cool.
Just wanted to give you
a question for me, though?
Fuck, man. I know, ain't that a bitch? But real shit, just want to say love you, Neil. Renee, mad shout-out to you too, my friend. Tell Jermaine he's the shit too. Love you guys.
Thanks for calling in, Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Love Rene Dupree.
Rene Dupree was awesome.
Who is Rene Dupree?
I think he's a rapper, wasn't he?
No, I was not familiar with that. I'm sorry about that. I'm not actually even sure what the reason was for that, but thank you, I guess. So, Kenzo Suzuki, real quick, in a couple more minutes. It's a totally different team. How did that come about, and did you think that was a good pairing?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe they were trying to push him as a big single star at first, but then it wasn't working out right. So he wasn't really catching on with the American style very well. So I wasn't doing anything. So they put us together, and actually it was some of the funniest times I've ever had in my life. And tagging with him was great. And that's when I really got into like Japanese culture, was traveling with him and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
And to this day I'm still buddies. Good guy.
Cool. Well, we really want to thank you for coming on, and we actually got to go because we get another guest, and you've got to fly out tomorrow early in the morning.
Yep, I head to Tokyo for 6 weeks, brother.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you can send me a link of this, I'd like to listen to it.
Definitely.
I'll probably bore myself to sleep so I can sleep at night.
Now I know you need stuff to do. I'll just be sending you links to all our interviews.
Not everyone, just mine. All right, man. Good luck, and thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, this is PCO Pierre Colwellette, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.